Hey there, and welcome to Rockwall, Texas Living, the web's biggest blog on the smallest county in Texas. I am your host, Evan Madison, and today Harold Smith from Cornerstone Mortage has joined us to talk about getting a reference when you're going to work with a lender. Now, this is the beginning of a multi-part series, so definitely come back over the next couple days and check out the other videos that we're going to be putting up about some other really good points about choosing a lender. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And let me just kind of give a little brief introduction. We work with Harold all the time. We've been working with you probably for 4 or 5 years now. Yeah. And I mean, you're not paying me to say this. You make my job easier because when you tell a client what it's going to be at closing table, it's typically that price or less. Mm-hmm. You know, that amount.
That's our goal.
It's rare, unfortunately, in this in your industry. We see a lot of the internet lenders, etc. They're out there and they're just trying to get someone in the door, and I almost hesitate to say bait and switch, but it is sometimes it feels like that from my end because we have clients that are oh well yeah no I already signed up from lending.com or LendingTree or whatever. Mm-hmm. It typically ends up being a nightmare scenario for everyone involved. The buyer for sure, but if they can't get their loan finalized, there's like 5 to 8 other people that are trying to make this transaction happen for this client. Right. And if they can't get their loan done and that person is not reputable, it's all for naught, and you got income that just went out the window for, you know, several other people that depend on that.
And you got a moving truck with nowhere to go.
Oh gosh. So it's extremely important. Let's dive into probably one of the most important aspects of that, and that would be get a reference.
Yeah, absolutely. When Evan asked me to talk about this, about just the topic of selecting a lender, and by the way, we've had the privilege to get to know Evan and Virginia and Richard over several years, and we love working with them. It's just flat out fun. It's fun to work with them, and they know their work, and so you just happen to already have selected one of the top realtors in the Metroplex already goes to show you're in good hands. So whether I end up working with you or not, I hope you find this of value. We'd love to work with you, but I realize there are other good lenders, believe it or not, in the Metroplex. Shocking.
I haven't found one.
There are, but I want to help you, give you some guidance about how to find them. The number one thing above all the others, and we're going to do this in some multi-part series here, is get a reference. And what I mean by a reference is you want to either get a reference from Evan, Virginia, Richard. You want to get a reference from a good friend, a good family member. And when I say a reference, I don't mean they say, well, yeah, I think Joe Bob does that, and you might want to give him a call. You want to know someone that has worked with that person, had a good experience, and can tell you about it.
Right.
Every real estate transaction is unique. You know, maybe your good friend whose son maybe just got in the mortgage business, although I know you're wanting to maybe help him or her, that may be fine, but we need to talk about the reality of what's going on here. This is the largest transaction, financial transaction, you probably will ever do until you buy another house again.
Right.
And you cannot take that lightly. This is a very serious matter. Big dollars are in play. You've got moving trucks that will be set. You've got utilities that will be turned on. You've got, you know, if this is your dream home, and for most people it's their next step, whether it's an empty nester moving down or moving to a retirement home or whatever it is, you need to take that seriously. Yeah. So whether this is me, I would encourage you to talk to those people. Hey, who did you use? Was that a good experience? Tell me about it.
That's what I was going to say. Not even just a name, but what was the experience that was had? Because you don't, I mean, again, yes, it would be great to be able to help people out, but this is this is, in my opinion, not the place where you want to help someone gain their foothold and they can kind of test out what they're learning on you.
Right.
You want a professional. I liken it to, and it's the same thing for real estate agents. I mean, obviously as well, get a reference for a real estate agent. I liken both of these relationships that you would form with a realtor or a lender to almost on the same importance level of a doctor. You would go get a reference for a doctor. You would not use someone maybe that just got out of med school.
Would you choose LASIK based on the lowest price?
No.
$2.99 an eye?
You not if it's my eyes. You know, you're gonna use someone that is good at what they do.
Right.
And you're gonna get that via references.
Right.
So
again, that's the biggest thing, and really emphasize that. Ask, what was that experience like? Did they communicate with you? Did you feel like you understood the process? Did they talk with you about rates and points? Did they talk with you about seller contribution? Did you understand that? Did they help you determine what rate you ought to choose and, you know, program you ought to use? Those are the kind of things to ask that friend or family member. And if you get an answer of, yeah, it was good, we closed on time,
maybe
there's
for a little
way
bit
more to it than
Yeah.
that. There's way more to it than
Yeah.
that, and you need to know that because this is a big deal for you.
It's important, and what you choose is going to kind of set the tone for the entire experience. And at the Madison Group, at Coldwell Banker Apex, we want you to have a joy-filled experience. It can be joy-filled. You just got to make sure that you have professionals working with you.
I think it's important for you to also know that I cannot legally, in any way, in no way pay Evan or Virginia or Richard for anything that they send to us, a client that they make a referral to, and it is illegal for any lender to do that.
Right.
Highly illegal. People are in jail for this very issue. Yeah. So don't feel in any way it's contrived. These are people that they make the referral because they want to make sure your deal is done right.
Yeah, yeah. My whole reason for thinking about having Harold on to discuss this is because we've had so much success with you, and because you're accurate in your numbers and that sort of thing. No money is involved other than the fact that when I sell a house for a client, I do get paid and I am able to survive off of that, and you help make that possible by being good at what you do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're learning a little bit more about Rockwall, Texas and real estate together. Thanks, Harold, for coming today.
Hey, thanks so much.
Make sure to watch the next couple videos over the next few days because we're going to have some more points that are really important that you need to see. We'll see you next time.